All right, this is the DMED data. This is just one screenshot of DMED data. This particular one says multiple sclerosis demyelinating disease. This is from January to November of 2021. 480% increase. 487% increase in that time on the numbers.
It's a government reporting. It's specifically for the military for reporting,
Specifically
right?
for the military. I'm going to explain the DMED.
And a third party is in charge of managing
They
it.
They manage the company, or the data.
The data.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Right.
Sounds problematic to me.
This is problematic. Let me explain to you the DMED data. The DMED is based upon one-on-one interactions with soldiers going to military treatment facilities on an ICD-10 code, International Code of Diagnosis. So now you know that these are based upon ICD-10 codes, okay, diagnosis codes. Every time a soldier, sailor, airman, marine goes to a treatment facility, a provider enters the data in. Now, some can be multiple visits, but overall, when we look at the years before, you'd have multiple visits. So here's the deal. This is just one diagnosis. I've seen this with other people. And for every one of us, I'm going to give you a few of the cases. Chest pain, unspecified. Are you ready? 15x rise, 1,529% increase. Dyspnea, shortness of breath, 905% increase, 9x rise. Acute myocardial infarction, 269% increase. Acute pericarditis, 175% increase. It's not very much time. It was checked over. Acute myocarditis, 285% increase. Pulmonary embolism, 467% increase. Cerebral infarction, 393% increase. Remember that family I told you about, that soldier? That's what he had. Bell's palsy, 319%. DIC, disseminated intravascular coagulation, 1,175% increase. Guillain-Barré syndrome, 250%. HIV, 590%. Immunodeficiencies, 275%. Idiopathic thrombocytopenic purpura, it's too many purpurs, 322% rise. I'm not happy about this. Menstrual irregularities, 476% increase. There's mine. You got mine there. Neoplasms, early on, 296% increase. Where would you say, doctor, that we're at with neoplasms now, roughly?
There's rises in neoplasms across the board. Neoplasm is cancer across the board. And as I've presented, we don't have definitive proof that the vaccines directly cause cancer, but every day that goes on, our suspicions rise. Now, enter in a young population who's already been screened at baseline. They have baseline military histories and physicals, and they're well looked after, to now enter a vaccine era and see rises in cases at this level. When you see, in epidemiology, more than a doubling of anything is a significant, what's considered relative risk, or odds ratio, or hazard ratio. Those are all, for intents and purposes, synonyms. So a doubling of something is of concern. Now you're talking about tripling and quadrupling, 10x, 100x, 1,000x. Even if there's small frequency, it's meaningful.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
For 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I believe earlier today you said, sir, Tony, meaning Tony Fauci, does not want me to connect anything to him. And when asked by my colleagues, did you use personal email for official business, your answer was, I didn't think it was doing official business. And then just now you said, not intentionally. Let me read some of the emails. The first email from you says, P.S. I forgot to say there is no worry about FOIAs. I can either send stuff to Tony on his private email or hand it to him at work or at his house. He's too smart to let colleagues send him stuff that could cause trouble. Next email from you said, I suggested Arthur try to interview Tony, meaning Tony Fauci, directly and connected him to our secret back channel. He emailed Tony a few hours ago. Next email from you. I forgot to clarify in my email yesterday that both my Gmail and phone calls are now safe. Text is not, as it can be FOIA'd, as can my great government email. So you and Peter Daszak, and others should be able to email me on Gmail only, with the caveat that no other government employee is copied at a government address, as all government emails are potentially FOIAble. Next email from you. This is sent from my Gmail account. Please send all replies here to Gmail. There are things I can't say, except Tony is aware, and I have learned that there are ongoing efforts within NIH to steer through this with minimal damage to you, Peter, and colleagues, and to NIH and NIAID. Next email, Jerry. My private Gmail account is where I sent this from after forwarding to myself from my NIH account. Please try to send only to my Gmail, as we are doing a couple weeks ago, but I messed up a few times and sent them from my NIH account because on my phone the two are merged. And then when you respond by hitting reply, it goes to NIH. After some recent issues, I'm going to try to strictly use only my Gmail in these discussions. Then the next email. I learned from our FOIA lady here how to make emails disappear after I FOIA'd, but before the search starts. So I think we are all safe. But I deleted most of these earlier emails after sending them to Gmail. Next email. With the help of our IT folks, I went over the whole computer and phone situation. Basically, my Gmail is now safe from FOIA. Thus, it should be safe to communicate safely with you, Peter, and others as long as we use my private email, Gmail. I ask you both that nothing in large letters, cap letters, gets sent to me except to my Gmail. Sir, I believe you have lied here today to us, to Congress, when you say, oh, I didn't know this, I didn't intentionally use my Gmail. Are you kidding me? Dr. Morens, do you want to change your testimony?
No, I don't, because I think that the context, all these, there's so many of these emails you just mentioned, I can't even remember them all, but the context is that this Gmail communication thing was set up purely to deal with personal things that were not government business. And then other people.
Sir, with all due respect, how can you say that when you clearly, in all these emails, were intentionally avoiding FOIA? You said it in your own words, sir.
Well, but so what? Let's talk about what you mean by intentionally avoiding FOIA. I don't consider that telling them don't send me things because they could get FOIA'd is intentionally avoiding FOIA, because those are personal things. And with respect to my NIH email, I couldn't possibly avoid FOIA because I had no control.
Sir, did you use in most of these emails your official signature? It said, David M. Morens, O.D., N-I-A-I-D, N-I-H. These were official.
Well, let me tell you something else. I didn't mention
And you forwarded from your NIH email to your personal email, and you said it right in your email.
I learned only about a year ago that the fusion of my Gmail on my email and my email, NIH email, on my phone had another side effect too. And by the way, I finally got IT to take that off, to get rid of it, so there's no more Gmail email fusion. But after I asked them to take it off, I realized that if a Gmail or NIH email came to me and I replied to it, for some reason there was a default where the signature I had on Gmail, which said David Morens of Bethesda, Maryland or something, didn't go out, but the NIH email went out. I don't know how that happened. I didn't do it consciously.
Sir, I'm sorry. I just don't believe you. And I yield back.
Just so we know who you are, can I first ask, are you acting under your oath today?
What, as in the oath
Your
I
oath you took as a...
Yeah?
Yes,
So,
good.
yeah.
And for the record, can we have your name and your badge number, and also, are you stationed here in this police station?
Yep, so my name's Steve Wynn, my collar number is 1524, and yes, I am stationed at Market Harbour Police Station.
Okay, thank you. So the reason we're here today, and you may or may not know this, I gather maybe not,
Okay.
the COVID-19 vaccinations are now under criminal investigation with CID police station in Hammersmith in London. So, you know, a Met Police investigation. This has come about as a result of the catastrophic death and injury figures to both adults and children across the UK.
Yeah.
We have a Metropolitan Police case number, which I can give to you later.
Yeah.
Also, this case is being acknowledged by the International Criminal Court in The Hague.
Yeah.
We have an application reference number for that as well. The filing has been acknowledged by the International Criminal Court on the 6th of December 2021.
Yeah.
We also have 1,100 pieces of evidence to present to you today.
To present to me?
Well, we can email it
Okay.
over, you know.
Because again, obviously, you've already got the Hague and the Met Police dealing with it, and I'm not saying we won't look at it, but
Yes.
obviously I'm a small player compared to some of those characters.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. But, you know, just letting you know, we have the
that's
evidence
fine.
to forward to you if you need it. So, as far as we're aware, all chief constables around the UK should now be aware of this case because, of course, it's an international situation.
Yeah.
And that is why we are here today, to ensure that you here at this police station and in the surrounding areas are aware and are upholding your duty and oath to protect the people of the UK.
Okay.
There is significant and irrefutable forensic evidence and hundreds of witness statements from victims, whistleblowers and experts to confirm serious harm, injury and death caused by the COVID-19 vaccines. This evidence is currently being gathered by Hammersmith Police. It is my understanding that they are overwhelmed with the amount of people coming forward to make statements. Now, if you were wondering, which I'm sure you are, why you have not yet heard about this, there is a deliberate...
Just a quick one. I'm going to have these still.
Yeah, that's fine.
Obviously, I've passed this. I'm passing this lady's details on to the inspector.
Yeah,
I wanted
fine.
it ultimately to the
Fine, Martin. Thank you. Sorry.
It's okay. There is a deliberate blanket campaign of misinformation underway by the government and the mainstream media.
Yeah.
The UK government controls mainstream media, and senior government ministers, civil servants and the media are implicated in the following alleged crimes. And evidence to support that has been submitted to Hammersmith CID. Crimes being cited are misfeasance in public office, misconduct in public office, conspiracy to commit grievous bodily harm, conspiracy to administer a poisonous and noxious substance to cause serious harm and death, gross negligence manslaughter, corporate manslaughter, corruption, fraud, blackmail, murder, conspiracy to commit murder, terrorism, genocide, torture, crimes against humanity, false imprisonment, multiple breaches of our human rights, war crimes, multiple breaches of the Nuremberg Code 1947, multiple breaches of the Human Rights Act 1998, and I believe treason will also be added to that list a little later on down the line. I'm just going to have a sip of water.
That's fine.
2 seconds, sorry.
Quite a long list, to be fair.
It is, yes. So, As you can see, this could potentially be the world's largest criminal investigation.
Yep.
It is now underway, it is just beginning, and it is also taking place in numerous countries around the world. And the evidence is overwhelming and irrefutable. So, in accordance with Section 3 of the Criminal Law Act 1967, we now call upon you to assist us in the closure of all vaccine centres within your jurisdiction. The Criminal Law Act 1967, Section 3 states, a person may use such force as is reasonable in the circumstances in the prevention of crime or in effecting or assisting in the lawful arrest of offenders or suspected offenders or of persons unlawfully at large. These gene therapy drugs are the murder weapon. This is the weapon that the UK government is using to hurt, maim and kill millions of people in the UK. The evidence must be seized by the police as part of this investigation. It is incumbent upon you to do that without fail in all police jurisdictions around the UK. The Criminal Law Act 1967 gives any man or woman the authority and the power to prevent crime. We also have authority to use force as is reasonable, necessary and proportionate in order to prevent that crime from happening. You may be resistant to this. However, there is now a live criminal investigation in place. You have a duty to protect the people. You are public servants who we pay with public taxes and public money. You work for us. If crime, injury, serious harm and death is being committed, it is incumbent upon you in your office of constable, on oath which you swore to protect us, the people, from said harm. If you are in attendance, it is your duty to gather evidence and seize the weapon, which in this case are the vaccine vials. These vaccine vials should then be taken into protective custody and detained in your property evidence stores to be independently forensically tested as a matter of urgency. This is a fact in law. The law is the same whether you are a police constable in uniform or whether you are a citizen, a man or woman that is sovereign. The police have a duty. That duty is to respond and act accordingly. If the police fail to do their job, they are committing an offence of misconduct in public office and perverting the course of justice. If they know offenders are responsible for these crimes and they do anything to assist those offenders or prevent those crimes from being detected or deliberately frustrate the criminal investigation, they are also guilty of an offence of assisting a known offender. May I remind you that you work for the people. You do not work for the government. It is the government ministers, the civil servants and the media bosses who are committing these disgusting and heinous atrocities against millions of people throughout the United Kingdom. It is ridiculous to expect us to address members of Parliament. They are the very people committing these crimes. We do not speak to the offenders. That is the job of the police, and these people must be arrested. So, we now demand that you assist us in forcing all vaccine centres within your jurisdiction to cease and desist with immediate effect. We expect you to be in attendance with us at local vaccine sites so that we can bring a halt to any further crimes, serious harm, injury and death. We also demand that you make an official public statement to the people of the UK, making them aware of this criminal investigation, warning of the dangers of this experimental drug, and inviting them to come forward to provide further evidence of vaccine injury, harm, and death. And finally, we can now provide you with all the legal documents in relation to this case, the crime numbers, any forensic evidence you may need, so that we can swiftly move this case forward.
Okay, thank you. I mean, if you've got a crime number from the Met, I'll quite happily take that.
Yeah. So the crime number is 2 seconds.
That's fine.
Where do I put it? Okay, it is 6029
Yeah, yeah,
679
yeah.
/21.
And this is from Hammersmith.
It is, yes, CID.
Lovely. Are you looking to make a report in addition to Leicestershire Police as well, or are you happy that's been dealt with by Hammersmith?
We want all police stations around the country to be actively involved in this investigation.
And do you have any science to back up your opinion?
The best data are autopsies. So in the largest autopsy series published to date, I know because I'm the senior author, of all the deaths we examined, and we re-reviewed them. We had an adjudication committee. We had ways of arbitration deciding on did the vaccine cause death. The answer is, of these cases that came in for autopsy after vaccination, 73.9% of individuals, it was determined that the vaccine was the cause of death. First author is Holscher and colleagues. He's sitting right behind me.
Quem informa isso é o Sérgio Tavares, lá de Portugal. Portugal, Espanha e Itália, advogados desses três países entraram na Corte de Haia, na Corte Internacional de Justiça, para investigar as agressões aos direitos humanos perpetrados por governos na dita pandemia.